We're going to address some general things on defense from the scrum. In particular, there's two important things I'd like us to just touch on. The one is the role of the fly-half on defense from the scrum, and then also the role of the wing on defense from the scrum. If we have a look at some examples here, the first example I'm going to show you is from a St Andrews team, a school that I coached with a couple of years ago. This example illustrates what the fly-half must do on defense. The fly-half must really push up hard on the inside of his fly-half. Sometimes you'll find some teams, the 10, doesn't really push up hard and link with that defensive line, and he tends to just shy away or cross cover and run behind the centers. It's very important that your fly-half sets that line speed and he pushes up really aggressively. So that's the example that I'd like to show you first. So let's have a look at it. Okay, so you can see, I know he was a little bit off sides here, but that was the objective that we had tried to work on, was improving that line speed from that scrum. And what you want to really look at doing is getting that line speed really up hard, and right up into that attacking line. Okay, so that's the role the fly-half must play on defense. He must really push up hard on the inside of his centers and make sure he gets up there. The next example I'll show you is quite a good example of the grade team back in 2017. And let's have a look at this example quickly. And in particular, what we're going to look at now is the role that the fly-half has played here. And also what you'll see is the right wing, how he's managed to stay close enough to the outside center to remain linked. Let's have a look at this example. Okay, so you can have a look. The fly-half is really pushing hard and is linked there with 12 and 13. Interesting tip that I want to give you about the winger, guys. The winger needs to stand a little bit closer on the outside of the outside center. And the little thing that coaches always refer to is this winger must be able to read the number 13 of this outside center at all times. Okay, you'll notice that he's a little bit wide. Okay, but there's at least a little bit of a connection here. And you can see how well 10, 12, and 13 do in getting that defensive line speed up really strongly. Okay, and you can have a look and see where that tackle line is, something that I've touched on before. And you can see how I prove once again where the advantage line is. And normally 80% of the time, the tackle line is over the advantage line and the attacking team doesn't reach it. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so you can see how well that defensive line speed did in creating that try for that side there. The next example I want to show you guys is the lack of connection with the winger. You'll see here it's the left wing, and this was from the 2017 team as well. Okay, it is from a right scrum. Okay, you can see what's important again, that our fly-half presses up hard on the inside of his centers. Okay, what you'll see here, guys, is the winger is actually not in the frame at all in this picture, whereas the winger should have been a little bit closer, and you should be able to obviously read the 13 on the back of that outside center, and you can see there's no link with the left winger and the rest of his defensive line. Okay, and you can still see in this example, the winger's not even in the frame. Okay, where your winger should have been pretty much where I've put my arrow here, and the winger really needs to make sure that he's coming up as well. And you can see that's what creates a little bit of a problem here with our fold, and how you'll see later on the clip what actually happens here. Check it out. Okay, you see the winger now is only coming up into the picture. All right, so that's not the best example of that winger on defense there, and hopefully we can all take something and learn something from that.